There was a lot going on in the bike category, especially among the leaders. Paolo Cecchi has sadly dropped out of contention. Third overall this morning, the Italian broke his clutch before CP1. 61-year-old Martin Benko has been remarkable since the start of the rally. He's been among the top riders, and today he put in a strong ride to finish stage 8 in 4th place. Yesterday, we left Paryż Dakar in tears in the desert, lying by his KTM. After working through the night, he was able to continue on, but the Moroccan is still very disappointed despite finishing 3rd on the day. It's really a shame. I'm really disappointed. I was waiting for Mauritania to make my move. Yesterday I broke the gearbox at kilometer 80 when I was 2 minutes ahead of Ulvasadr. But sadly a mechanical gremlin can strike at any moment. I couldn't believe it. It wasn't possible. I'm still upset about it. There are always amazing anecdotes on the Africa Eco Race, and the overall leader has his own tale to tell after running out of petrol.
So I waited there for Paul Andres, and then he came by after a few minutes. I don't know how. I asked him if he can give me some fuel, and he gave me 1.5 liter, I think, 1 liter. I don't know exactly. And I'm really thankful. This is like the best thing you can do in a race. He just stopped there and gave me fuel. This is amazing. And I want to thank him very much.
Sella finished 2nd, conceding over 13 minutes to Ulvasadr. Before Sella's problem, he was 10 minutes behind the 18-year-old in the stage. But the errors of youth paid off for the veteran, and anything could still happen in the bike category.
My bike is okay. I had a little problem in the beginning in Morocco, but now is for many days now without trouble, so we will see.
And here is a look at how they finished today in the bike category, with Ulvasadr ahead of Sella and Gabari. Stefano Poloni is 6th. In the general classification, Jev Sella's lead now stands at 36 minutes 24 seconds from Ulvasadr, but in the dunes, that is not a ton of time. Martin Benko is 3rd at more than ongoing saga of the 2017 Navigation was the theme of the day on stage 10 of the Africa Eco Race, with the majority of the special stage run in the dunes and over camel grass. Last year, this area was the scene of many a struggle. The race then headed toward Adjuch, using a portion of yesterday's route with a not-so-easy uphill section. While the 391 kilometers isn't the longest stage in the rally, the raiders had to make their way and sometimes dig their way out of the sand between Attar and Adjuch. We begin with the 28 remaining bikes, and the troubles continue for Paryż Dakar. On Monday, the Moroccan was 3rd overall, but his podium hopes were dashed when he suffered a broken gearbox. Yesterday, he was back after making repairs through the night. But today, at kilometer 138, his engine called it a day. A hard pill to swallow for the Moroccan, who dreamed of riding on the shores of Lake Rose. Martin Benko was one who should make it to Dakar. Since the start of the rally, he has run in tandem with teammate Jan Zatko. And the Slovakian squad stood out on Wednesday, with Benko taking 5th best time on the KTM.
It was a very nice stage, perfect dunes, soft dunes, big dunes. The first part of the stage was not easy. Next one was good for straight, fast speed, but important was navigation. We made perfect cooperation with my friend. We are very happy they were here and healthy.
Benko finished the stage in 5 hours, 14 minutes, 22 seconds, 1 minute 59 behind Zatko. The 61-year-old veteran was fourth best on the day. Yesterday, Paolo Cecchi's heavy Honda took its toll on the clutch. But today he was back with full power with a third-place finish as small compensation. I'm here today. It was not an easy stage because there were a lot of dunes in the first 150 kilometers. It was very thick. The bikes were well today, as did I. And now, the goal is to make it to Dakar. That's the only thing that matters. And we'll see for next time. Pal Anders Ulvesæter didn't have any problems, and perhaps that is the problem. He's riding better than he did 15 years ago. And if he rode like this back then, he is sure he would have had better results on the international scene. The Norwegian finished second on the stage, but lost some 7 minutes 41 seconds to Sella, who was making it look far too easy. He did the business again this Wednesday, riding alone out front, to such a point that René Metz, who watches the action from his helicopter, couldn't believe what he was seeing.
Yeah, now you can start to see the end of the race. You just need to calm down and not do any big mistakes. I have like a gap that I could win with, but I need to stay like this.
Here's a look at today's results. Sella scores his fourth win from 9 stages, ahead of his biggest fan, Ulvesæter. Paolo Cecchi is third, Guillaume Martins is sixth. Sella extends his lead in the general classification to 44 minutes, 5 seconds over Ulvesæter with Benko in third. While it was a beautiful day, it was also a tough one for the bike category of Edition 9 of the Africa Eco Race. All agreed at the arrival. They struggled, but also adored the superb and extraordinary scenery. While being the most photogenic, it was also one of the toughest. Stefano Poloni compared it to the Maldives, white sands, which was a little less tiring for the Italian than the dunes. He rode well to finish fifth, best in the stage, and more than a quarter hour behind Martin Benko. It was also a difficult day for the Slovakian. The dunes were very thick and navigation was very complicated. But Benko remained consistent on his way to a second straight fourth best time on his KTM. He covered the 423-kilometer stage in 6 hours, 33 minutes, 27 seconds. It's a shame he broke his clutch the day before last because Paolo Cecchi would have still been in contention for the overall podium. Today, the Italian on his powerful but heavy Honda proved he can rival with the 2 leaders. He got stuck in the dunes several times. He had to pick up his bike numerous times, which sapped his energy. The valiant Italian finished third on the day to move up to 7th overall. As usual, you find the same 2 riders at the sharp end of the order. Pal Anders Ulvesæter got off to a slow start this morning. He then hoped Sella would make a few errors, which he did not. The Norwegian admits that the teenager is better than him in all the sectors.
He's king of the stony roads, he's king of the navigation, he's king of the high speed, he's king of, I don't know, everything else. And he's doing it in an incredible way, because in some place we are, there are no roads. It's in the road book, but he always finds the roads without looking around, but he's back.
Tonight we can say a star is born. Remember his name and his face. He'll be one to watch for years to come. Another stage win for Gev Sella, to the pride of his delighted dad. Today, the Israeli rode with Pal Anders, for whom he has learned a lot during the rally.
Paul is the master of the dunes. I have a lot to learn from him about how to ride in the dunes and navigation and all of this until I will be fast as him.
And here's a look at today's results, with the 5th victory for Sella ahead of Ulvesæter, Cecchi, Benko, Piloni, and Zatko. In the general classification, Gev Sella pushes his lead from Ulvesæter to 54 minutes, 33 seconds. Benko is still third, ahead of Zatko and Piloni. And the image of the day comes thanks to the slow-motion camera action of Portugal's Alexander Assenreich. And that will do it for today. Tomorrow, the 11th and penultimate stage that will take place on Friday the 13th. For some, it's a day of chance. For others, not so much. 2/3 of the stage will run on sand-covered tracks between the dunes. In all, 208 kilometers of special stage between Agjout and Fimlet. Then another 338 kilometers of liaison to reach the bivouac in Saint Louis in Senegal. And as usual, we will leave you with the best images of the day. And be sure to join us tomorrow when the 2017 Africa Eco Race says goodbye to Mauritania and hello to... She is one of 9 Malmotos racing in the Africa Eco Race without assistance, with just a trunk stored in the Motul truck. Let's now meet up with the only female on 2 wheels in a very masculine universe, Julie Vaniken. The idea is to experience a very intense event, or rather very intense.
Intensément, même très intensément. Puis
I think anyone can do it, a man or a woman.
Tout le monde, pour un homme, pour une femme, faut un peu d'entraînement quand même.
I've worked on this project for now 18 months.
C'est un projet qui s'est même monté sur 18 mois et
And when you are determined, you can see it to the end.
Ça va au bout, quoi.
I hope to make it without hurting myself or damaging the bike. Everything is okay for now. I have learned a lot. I was unfamiliar with rallies of this size and its nature. This is a real race. I'm learning everything, but I think I adapt easily, and I like that.
Et ça me plaît beaucoup.
As I said in a message to everyone supporting me, the Malmoto for me is more a concept, not a reality. I'm getting help from everyone. Not necessarily the Malmotos, because they have a lot of work to do on their own bikes, but from many other teams who have gotten help. If possible, I do not want to be the last rider. That is the case for now. It would be perfect to go all the way. It is my only goal. I thought I was going to stutter 3 times more. Today, Julie finished 17th after a difficult stage. She is spent, and now can't wait for tomorrow. The heavy wind gusts didn't do the riders any favors, so Gevsela focused extra hard not to make any mistakes and crossed the finish line with 3rd best time in the stage.
I'm just very happy that I made it till here without problems and all the way. I'm very exciting now, and just very happy. Want to finish. You know, like tomorrow it will be 100%. So let's wait for tomorrow. But right now I'm very happy.
While Ulvasetter got past Sella in the dunes, he admits the 18-year-old is better. A 3rd consecutive Africa race victory is not to be. The Norwegian must settle for 2nd. And he is happy to have been a winner on a rally that continues to grow in stature. 2nd on the day and 2nd in the general classification for Pal Anders. Today, Paolo Cecchi won his 3rd stage, and he is sure Fabrizio Mioni is still with us because the AER is where true rally raid values are to be found. And here are today's results. Cecchi takes the win ahead of Ulvasetter and Sella. Piloni is 4th. Unless disaster strikes, Gevsela will win his maiden rally raid. Ulvasetter's 50 minutes, 12 seconds adrift. Benko and Zacco are 3rd and 4th. And the image of the day is brought to you by our 2 leaders in the bike category as Pal Anders Ulvasetter blows by Gevsela, who should be on his way to the win. Tomorrow, the 12th and final stage. After a final night spent under the stars, the Africa Eco Race finishers will have the pleasure of starting the final stage on the beach. A unique moment and final chance to pick up a stage victory. The 22 kilometers of special stage finishing at Lake Rose will be a reward for some and a deliverance for others. The podium on the shores of Lake Rose will celebrate the heroes of this 9th edition who will receive their trophies, and you can be sure there will be some emotion and joy all around. And that will do it for today. And we leave you with the best images of the day, and make sure to join us tomorrow for the 12th and final act of the 2017 Africa Eco Race. They've waited for this for 2 weeks. The Africa Eco Race finishers set off for the final run today along the shores of the Atlantic. The traditional start was taken on the beach. It was also the chance on this final day to distribute humanitarian packages brought by the organizers. The Lula Eco au Senegal Association furnished the Pouponnière de Mbour for Orphan Children's Foundation. The final 22 timed kilometers from Niokub to Lake Rose were a reward for all and a deliverance for some. 37 bikes started in Monaco 2 weeks ago and 23 arrived. 2 intense weeks for all the competitors who all experienced an extraordinary adventure. Here's a wrap-up of their adventure in 90 seconds. The one rider who stood out above the rest was this teenager no one had ever heard of. Gefsela is from Israel. This was his first rally raid. He won 5 stages and his first international trophy. But before leaving for military duty in just a few days, he was in a dream state on the shores of Lake Rose, basking in his victory.
It was amazing, this whole rally. It was just an amazing experience. Now it was the best thing ever to full gas on the beach, on the water, you know, where everybody, the greatest of the all time, was exactly in the same lines that I rode. Now it just like amazing feeling and high.
Gefsela takes the win by a comfortable 50 minutes 2 seconds from pal Anders Ulvasetter, with Martin Benko completing the podium. First of all, there were no major issues. The good humor was all around. The conviviality, the wonderful bivouacs. We were treated like royalty. There were no customs problems. What I will remember from this Africa race is the victory for the young Gefsela, who well deserved the win. But I also have to mention the great competitor Pal Anders Ulvasetter, who on one stage was far ahead and stopped and gave some petrol to Sella, who was out of gas. He could have easily ignored him and gone on for the win. They battled and helped one another all throughout the rally.